everybody. This is Curt Gowdy, along with Pee Wee Reese and Sandy Koufax. And today, Sunday makes the year. Never in the history of the American League have 3 teams gone to the last day of the season with a chance to win the pennant. And that's the way it is here today. Pee Wee, what do you think about it all?
Curt, I think it's wonderful, and I'm just happy that I can be a part of it. I don't know about the players being a little nervous, but old Pee Wee is just being up here.
All right. Sandy Koufax.
Curt, as a pitcher, this is the only day of the year where the bullpens are full. If you don't win today, you got 5 months between your next start.
This park was full an hour ago. They've turned away thousands and thousands of fans here. You'll hear a roaring, of course, partisan New England crowd as the Twins and the Red Sox battle here. We'll be getting you up to date on what's happening in Detroit also. But NBC's Major League Baseball will continue from Fenway Park in Boston as the Minnesota Twins battle the Boston Red Sox. Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit for an audio update from Tony Koufax.
Here in Tiger Stadium in Detroit, lightning has already struck twice. Yesterday, you'll recall, in the first game of the doubleheader, Willie Horton hit a 2-run home run in the first inning. He did just that again today, a 2-run home run by Willie Horton to put the Tigers ahead 2-0. Don Mincher hit a home run in the top of the second inning for the Angels off Joe Sparma. So right now, going in the Tigers' half of the second inning, it's Detroit 2, the Angels 1. And now back to Curt Gowdy in Boston.
Now the meeting here at home plate, thanks to Tony Koufax, will be switching back to Detroit throughout this game. The Tigers playing the first game of the doubleheader. The Tigers must win 2 today to tie the team that wins this game for the American League pennant. Here's the lineup for the visiting team, the Minnesota Twins. Lolo Verzais leading off at shortstop. Cesar Tovar's at third base. Harmon Killebrew at first base, batting third. Tony Olivas in right field, hitting cleanup. Bob Allison's in left field, batting number 5. Ted Eulander's the center fielder, hitting 6th. Rod Carew at second base, batting 7th. Jerry Zimmerman's the catcher, hitting 8th. And Dean Chance will be pitching for the Twins. Chance has won 20 and lost 13. That's Cal Hermer, 43, manager of the Twins with his back to you. Dick Williams, the manager of the Red Sox. The homestanding Red Sox, and they're taking the field now. Here in New England with this miracle season. Jerry Adair's at second, Dalton Jones at third, Carl Yastrzemski at left, Ken Harrelson's at right field, George Scott at first, hitting 5th, Rico Petrocelli the shortstop, batting 6th, Reggie Smith in center field, batting 7th, Russ Gibson is the catcher, hitting 8th, and Jim Lombard, the Red Sox 21-game winner with 9 losses, carries the hopes of the Red Sox. Ovation for the Red Sox as they took the field. The umpires, Nestor Shylock behind the plate, Lou DeMuro at first, Ed Runge at second, and Jim Honeychick at third. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Shot you saw was the Commissioner of Baseball, General Eckert, and along in the box with him today is the United States Senator from Massachusetts, Edward Brooke. We had Vice President Humphreys and Senator Kennedy here yesterday. You saw the flag over the anthem. A slight breeze today, not as windy as yesterday, blowing from third to first today. As we said yesterday, the wind in this ballpark probably has more effect in the game than any other ballpark in the American League. The wind's out, they go for the short fence. If the wind's in, and it usually is a strong wind off the Charles River here, it holds up balls hit, especially to right field. Jim Lomborg, a pre-med student in his junior year at Stanford, signed a bonus contract with the Red Sox, a 500 pitcher until this year when he suddenly blossomed into one of the best in baseball. He's 24 years old, born in Santa Maria, California. Lives now in San Luis Obispo, California. He has never beaten the Minnesota Ball Club. Dean Chance, pardon me, has defeated the Red Sox more than any other team in his career in the American League. But past history means nothing right now as we're about ready for the first pitch. And the batter is Zolo Verzais, hitting .201. Tries to bunt, fouls it back. Verzais has 6 homers, 50 RBIs, and he still talks around the batting cage before every ball game. He can't understand what's happened to him with the bat. 1965, the most valuable player in the American League. It's a high fly, shallow left center. Yastrzemski's coming on, Petroselli's out, and Yastrzemski has it. One down. Cesar Tovar is up, batting .268. And he is breaking an American League record today. He's playing in his 164th game, an all-time record in the American League. The Twins had 2 ties this year. The Major League record held by Maury Wills, who has played in 165 games in one season when he was with the Dodgers. Lomborg, primarily a sinker ball pitcher. Ball, when he came up with a slider this year that gave him an extra pitch along with a sinking fastball and a curve. And he says that's what put him over the top. There's his sinker. Ball 2, 2-0. But the Twins have been tough for him. His record this year against Minnesota, no wins, 3 losses. His lifetime record against the Twins, no wins and 6 losses. Ground ball to Petroselli. 2 down. Killebrew is up now with 2 down, nobody on. Pee Wee talked to Killebrew before the game and asked him would he be trying to win the home run title today. Here's what he said.
Well, actually, Pee Wee, if I can get a walk or a single or get on with an error or something that will help win us this ball game, I'll be happy. I'm not going to be trying to win the home run championship, actually, but if I can hit a home run, it'll help us with a game. That'll be all right, too.
Killebrew takes ball 1. Yastrzemski hit his 44th yesterday, then Killebrew came up with the 9th and hit his 44th. So they're tied for home runs. Yastrzemski leads the league in batting and in RBIs. Ball 2, 2-0 to Killebrew. They don't call him the killer for nothing. They have the shift on against him. 3 infielders on the left side. The outfield deep and toward left. The 2-0 delivery. 3-0 to him. He has hit 4 homers here this year. He's hit 30 lifetime homers here, more than any other road park. And this is a ballpark that favors a batter like Killebrew. The 3-0 delivery. He's on. Ball 4. They're pitching carefully to him. Tony Oliva batting cleanup. Oliva batting .287. 17 homers, 83 RBIs. Sprays the ball all over. Left, center, right. The strategy is to jam him here with a long right field for him to shoot for. Don't pitch him outside and let him go to left with a short fence. And they're straight away. You can draw a string through home plate, second base, out to center fielder Reggie Smith. Two down, 2-1. Killebrew getting his lead at first. Curveball. It's cool today. Pitcher should stay strong. The light top coat feels comfortable in the stands. A 1-strike pitch. Strike 2. Oliva's in a hole now with 2 down. Killebrew at first. No score. Top of the first inning. The end of 2 innings. The Tigers are leading the Angels 2-1. Most of you know they split yesterday. The Angels blew a 6-2 lead in the second game in the 8th inning. They'd have won both those games yesterday. All they needed was a split today to assure a tie. Now they have to win 2 to tie the winner of this game. There's the drive to left field. That one is well up there and off the wall. They may wave Killebrew in. Reggie Smith has a powerful arm. Here's the throw. Scott's got it. Throws wide. Coming over to third is Oliva. George Scott cut the ball off, and he had his man at the plate with a short throw, and as you saw, threw the ball over the head of the catcher, Russ Gibson. Killebrew, not a fast man, scored from first base. So the Twins take the lead 1-0. Here's the replay on it. And Pee Wee will pick it up and show you how the cutoff man, Scott, came over.
Well, you can see Yastrzemski stayed right with the ball. He thought he may have a chance. They hit about 3 feet above Yastrzemski. Reggie Smith, as Curt said, has a very strong arm. It looks to me like he made a good throw. George Scott, the first baseman, came over, cut the ball off, and had the runner in plenty time. Now, here's Killebrew coming all alone. See, he started to hold up a little bit, and Billy Martin, the coach, gave him the go-ahead sign. A bad throw, good throw would have had him.
All right, Bob Ellison's up. Gibson saving that one. Give Tony Oliva a double. Charge George Scott with an error for his overthrow at home. No RBI. The official score figured that Killebrew would not have scored with a good throw from Scott. Oliva on third, 2 down. Ellison takes a breaking pitch over. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ellison batting .258. He's had a comeback season after 2 mediocre years. He's hitting 24 homers this year, 75 RBIs. Playing him as a pull hitter to left field. 2-1. If you've ever seen 2 bullpens jammed today, fans, you're going to take a look at it. They have everybody out there they can get jammed in those bullpens. Two and one to Bob Ellison. Goes after Lombard slider to make it 2-2. Lombard's had trouble in this ballpark, his home park this year. He's won 8 and lost 5 here. On the road, he's won 13 and lost 4. But this is a tough park to pitch in. The 2-2 delivery. Foul back.
Kurt, as you were talking, Lombard made 2 real good pitches to Oliva with 2 curveballs breaking in on him. And looks like he tried to sneak that fastball by him on the outside. He just wrapped that ball off of that green monster fence.
2-2 to Bob Ellison. Oliva at third, 2 down. At a little high. 3-2 now. A left-handed batter, Ted Eulander's on deck. Three-two pitch coming up. There's a fly ball hit out to Yastrzemski in the warning path in the side zone. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. In the middle of the first inning, it's the Twins 1 and the Red Sox coming to bat.
It's what's up front that counts. front ahead of the filter. Only Winston has the good taste. That comes from Filter Blend.
Yes, it's Winston's golden filter blend tobaccos that make
Winston taste good like a cigarette should. Winston!
And now for you menthol smokers.
Winston comes up with a fresh idea. A Winston menthol in the super king size. An extra long cigarette. And it's the best tasting yet.
What a taste. What a combo. Winston and menthol. And in the super king size. Try new Winston menthol in the tall green and gold pack.
26-year-old Dean Chance, a farm boy from Worcester, Ohio, carries the Twins' hopes. Chance has won 20, lost 13. He has been tough against the Red Sox. He's beaten the Red Sox this year 4 times against 1 loss. And his lifetime record against Boston, combined with California and Minnesota, is 16-8. He has more lifetime wins against the Red Sox than against any other team in the league. Jerry Adair leading off for the Red Sox, batting .263. 3 homers, 37 RBIs. Well, the Twins scored in the first inning yesterday, had a 1-0 lead. They had the bases loaded, 1 out, couldn't get any more, and that hurt them. A ball. Chance throws hard, has a good slider, breaking pitch. You watch him, his motion is deceiving. He's hard to pick up the ball against. A lot of times he's looking up in the sky, it looks like. He's not watching the plate. As Sandy will tell you, most good pitchers have their eye right on the target. This fella has anything but.
Kurt, Dean has a little bit of a different windup than most pitchers. He doesn't quite look at the plate, as you said. And it looks like he doesn't use his body at all. It looks like his body's going one way and his arm another. And you see there, he doesn't have much of a follow-through, and, you sometimes wonder how Dean's gotten away without ever hurting his arm.
Adair, Jones, Yastrzemski, first 3 men up for the Red Sox. Count to Jerry Adair, 1-1. He's hit .290 since he came to the Red Sox in a trade from Chicago. And he's filled in at short, second, and third. Today they have him at second. A 1-1 pitch. 2-1. Well, they say never change your lineup while you're winning. The Red Sox won yesterday, but Dick Williams changed it today. He took Mike Andrews out, put Adair at second, put Dalton Jones in at third. Williams is a hunched manager. Ground ball to Verzais. He'll have a long throw from the grass. It's there. Verzais has a very strong throwing arm. And that's the play when they scout a shortstop. That's what they look for, is that arm from the deep hole.
Yes, it is, Kurt. That's a real tough play. You can see Verzais, he made the play right. He braced that right foot, and that's the way you get something on the ball. That's one of the toughest plays that a shortstop has to make.
Here's a good little hitter, Dalton Jones, who's had trouble in the field. Batting .284. Strike in his last 31 times at bat here in this stretch drive. He's hitting .419 for the Red Sox. 2 games on their recent road trip. He had 4 hits in 1 game against the Tigers and 4 hits in another game against the Orioles. He's always swung a good bat. They've had trouble finding a place for him to play. The 1-strike pitch. Line drive. Up goes Rod Carew to take a base hit away from him. Well, that's 2 down. Rod Carew, the brilliant rookie second baseman of the Twins. Well, here's a fellow that's had about as great a year as a ball player can ever have. Carl Yastrzemski. Leads the league in batting, hitting .322. Leads the league in RBIs, 119. Tied for the lead in homers with 44. The best defensive left fielder in the game. Great arm. He's done it all. And he's hitting his best right now. He has a 8-game batting streak going at the close of the season. A strike. He and Killebrew tied for homers. We went in to talk to Carl about quarter of one here. He was taking a nap. Went in the equipment man's room and went to sleep. Off Chance's glove. He's off. On first, 2 down. Batting cleanup is Ken Harrelson, hitting .258, 12 homers for the year, combined with the Red Sox and the A's, 52 RBIs. Since Tony Conigliaro injured his eye and has been out about 6 weeks, they've had trouble in his cleanup position. They hit George Scott. They're now dropped into number 5. Skremski has stolen 9 bases this year. 1-0, Minnesota leading, last of the first inning. Fans keep him in close. Call, no pitch. Tigers are leading the Angels 2-1. The Angels are batting in the top of the third. Sparma against Wright. Willie Horton homered in the first, one on for the Tigers. Don Mincher for the Angels in the second, nobody on. There's a bounding ball. Carew flashing to his left. Makes the play. 2 good plays by Carew in that last of the first inning. And the Red Sox are all out. They had no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of the first inning, the score is the Twins 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Introducing the Road Runner, an entirely new car for 1968. And the only way to catch one is at your Plymouth dealers.
Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit for an audio update from Tony Koufax.
Thank you, Curt Gowdy. The score still is 2-1 in favor of the Detroit Tigers here, with the Tigers at bat in the last of the third. Joe Sparma was in deep trouble in the top of the third inning when he loaded the bases due to his own error to put Hall on. But then a great play by Eddie Matthews at first base forced the runner at home plate, and then Rick Reichert hit into a hard double play. Dick Tracewski around the horn over to Matthews to end the inning. So the score is now 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. And now back to Curt Gowdy in Boston.
Thank you, Tony. Ted Eulander has taken strike 1. There's a ball to him, 1-1. Eulander, Carew, and Zimmerman for the Twins here in the top of the second. Twins are ahead 1-0. Eulander made a stretch drive with a bat, bringing his average up about 30 points. He's hitting .258. Ball 2, 2-1. He has 6 homers, 49 RBIs. The 2-1 delivery. Fouled out of play. Two and two. Gentleman Jim, they call Lomborg around here. Very quiet boy, studious. Good student at Stanford. Ball 3, 3-2. Sharp dresser. Ulander lives in McAllen, Texas. Three and two. A foul out of play. Red Sox have already broken their all-time attendance record. There are the bullpens. Look at it. You've never seen so many pitchers. That's the Red Sox bullpen. And the Twins bullpen out in the right field area. Fly ball. Yastrzemski almost in his tracks waiting. That's his third foot out of the game. Rod Carew hoping to celebrate his birthday today with a Minnesota pennant. He's 22 years old. Today, he's hitting .294. He's hit right around that 300 clip all year long from the opening week when he got off to a good start. 8 homers, 51 RBIs. He was born in Panama, lives now in Brooklyn, New York. His 4th pro season, he's been an all-star in every league he's played in. The strike. Minnesota leading Boston 1-0 in the top of the second. Detroit leading California 2-1, last of the third, the first game of their doubleheader. Strike 2. The Tigers have just scored another run. They're leading now 3-1, and they're still batting in the last of the third. Two-strike pitch. 1-2 to Rod Carew. You watch Lonborg carefully. If you see him up high now with his fastball or slider, he gets in trouble, like most sinker ball pitchers when they get up above the belt. He's got to stay down low. A 1-2 pitch. Grounded down to George Scott. Makes the play to Lonborg, and they're 2 down. Jerry Zimmerman, who originally was signed by the Red Sox for an $85,000 bonus. That was back in 1952. And here he is, battling against the club that originally signed him. 2 down, nobody on. He hits it back to the box. Petrocelli in back of the bag up with it. Throws him out. Middle of the second to score. The Twins won, and the Red Sox nothing.
Hello? Nice. What time are you coming in tomorrow? I told you 8 o'clock. Okay.
Super stainless blade with a miracle plastic coating on the edge to reduce the pull. You shave with it once, and you can never go back to your old standards. The Spoiler.
George Scott leading off for the Red Sox. We asked George before the game how he rated Dean Chance with some of the other pitchers in the American League.
Well, Curt, I think Dean Chance is one of the toughest right-handed in baseball, and for this leg, I think he's toughest in this league. And he gives me a whole lot of trouble. I hit against him something like about 12 times this year, and I think I must have got about 3 or 4 base hits. He's real tough.
George Scott batting .305. He's going to wind up this year as a 300 hitter. 19 homers, 81 RBIs. Little pop-up. Harmon Killebrew one-handing it for the out. And Scott plays at first base in unbelievable fashion. This game is authorized under television rights granted by Major League Baseball solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. Rico Petrocelli, batting .259. Ball one voted as the most underrated player in the Red Sox this year, has 17 homers, 65 RBIs, and has been brilliant in the field. Playing him as a pull hitter to left. That ball is hit through the middle of center field for a base hit. Petrocelli's on. The Red Sox lead the American League in batting and home runs and runs scored. They've been a good hitting team all year. Here's another Red Sox rookie, Reggie Smith, hitting .251, 15 homers, 61 RBI. The batting champ of the International League last year. He's only 22 years old. He's from Los Angeles. Very young Red Sox team. Squibbs a foul for a strike. The winner of this game clinches at least a tie for the pennant. The loser's gone. If the Tigers lose one today of their two scheduled games, the winner of this game is the winner. A fly ball, tough chance down the left field line, and this one is a foul ball. Just foul. Now, where those stands extend, our vision is blocked out here, and fans sitting behind the plate down the third base side and the left field side, their vision is blocked out. But umpire Honeychick at third, umpire Shylock behind the plate were right down the line, and both called it foul. Bob Allison edged a little more toward the left field line than left field. Dean Chance has Reggie Smith 2 strikes, 1 out. Petrocelli's at first. The Twins are ahead 1-0. Struck him out on a curveball. First strikeout for Chance. 2 down. Russ Gibson up. Gibson from Fall River, Massachusetts, batting .207, 1 homer, 14 RBIs. He spent 10 seasons in the minor leagues before coming up this year. Killebrew holding against Petrocelli. There's a fly ball down the right field line. Oliva's over there in the corner for it. And that's all for the Red Sox in the last of the second. They had no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of the second inning, the score is the Twins 1 and the Red Sox nothing.
Nothing very glamorous about looking glamorous at the crack of dawn. But glamour alone isn't what American Airlines hired her for. By noon, this girl will have walked across the United States, telling small children why the plane doesn't have propellers, seeing that 100 passengers are comfortable, and remembering who ordered what for dinner. We built America with a professional traveler in mind. We don't need any beautiful girls who just stand there. American Airlines. You'll love it.
Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit. An audio update from Tony Koufax.
Well, Curt, in the last half of the third inning here in Detroit, they scored 3 runs. After 2 were out, Willie Horton lofted a high fly ball to left center field that Rick Reichert and Roger Repos got their signals messed up on. The ball dropped between them, then an intentional pass to Freehand, a single by Worth, and a key 2-run single by Eddie Matthews. So now the score is 5-1 in the last of the third. And now back to Curt Gowdy in Boston.
Thank you, Tony. We'll be coming back to you and Jim Simpson throughout the game here. Dean Chance leading off for the Twins. A strike to him, one of the best pitchers in the game and one of the worst hitting pitchers. He's had 3 hits and 90 times up this year. Those 90 times up, he has struck out 50-some times. Strike 2. See what we mean?
Curt, I don't know. Dean was never a good hitter, but when he put on my old number instead of his number 31 way ahead with the Angels, it looks like it became worse.
2 strikes to him. Ball 1, 1-2. Zola Verzais is on deck at the top of the order, and then Cesar Tovar.
He just changed his stance right away. Lonborg getting ready to pitch the ball there. He's going to trick him.
A little strategy. A 1-2 pitch. And he's out. Strikeout for the pitcher, a put out for the catcher as he tries to bunt on the 3rd strike. And that's the first strikeout for Lonborg. Now we go to the top of the Twins order and pick up Verzais, who flied to left his first time. He's batting .201. Play him just a step or 2 toward left. 1-0. The Twins ahead. Pops it up. May have room. Dalton Jones and Petrucelli. It's Petrucelli on the grab. 2 down. Jonesy was doing the Leaning Tower of Pisa job on that one. Tovar grounded out his first time. He's played 6 positions this year for the Twins and voted their most valuable player by his teammates. Hitting .268. A ball. Lonborg, by the way, leads the majors in hitting batters this year. His stuff sometimes runs into a right-hander. 1-0 pitch. All 2-0 to Tovar. Lonborg has hit 19 batters, tops in the majors. The Red Sox record is hitting 20 batters. That was done by Howard Emke back in 23. Ball 3. A lot of the old-timers remember Howard Emke when Connie Mack started him in the World Series. As a surprise starter, as I remember, he struck out 13, 14 men against the Cubs. Ball 4. Tovar is on. Second walk given up by Lonborg, and here's Killebrew up. He walked his first time. Killebrew batting .266. Minnesota has 1 run, 1 hit. Boston has no runs, 2 hits. Red Sox made an error that led to the Twins' run. Tovar has stolen 19 bases. He's a good base runner. And he gets back. Close play. They don't have a shift on now with a man on first, but Jerry Adair, the second baseman, is almost in back of the bag. The outfield swung way around toward left. This is the 3rd inning. The Red Sox are trailing Minnesota 1-0. A ball. Low slider. 1-0. Lonborg will probably try and pitch outside to Killebrew. Keep it away from his power here with a short left field fence. A base hit into left field. Yastrzemski lets the ball go through his legs. They got a fast man, Tovar, coming on. He's a rounding third. He'll be in the score. And the Twins have a 2-0 lead. And Killebrew winds up at second. An error charged to Yastrzemski. Killebrew gets a single, no RBI, and the usual reliable Yastrzemski let that ball go through him. And twice now the Red Sox have made errors in the field, which has allowed runners to score from first base after 2 outs. The Twins are ahead 2-0. Oliva double off the wall in the first inning, hitting .288. They're going to put him on and pitch to the right-hander, Bob Allison. Ball 2 to Tony Oliva. Bob Rogers has homered for the Angels in the 4th inning at Tiger Stadium. It is now 5-2 in favor of the Tigers. Well, if the Tigers win the first game, they'll be going into that second game with a chance to tie the winner of this game for the pennant. Wonder who'll pitch out there in that second game, Pee-wee?
Well, I heard that they would probably pitch Denny McLain, and someone, Curt, was telling us during the season that if they had to win one game, the Detroit Ball Club, they'd like to see Denny McLain pitch it. Well, he may get that opportunity in the second game today.
Rick Clark is scheduled to go for the Angels. Strike 1 to Bob Allison, who flied out to left field his first time. Killebrew's at second, Oliva's at first. There are 2 outs, 1 run in for the Twins in the top of the third. And now Lomborg's ahead of him, 0-2. Were turned on in the first inning here. Right now the sun is coming through also. Allison the batter. 2 strikes on him, 2 down, runners on first and second. Struck him out on 3. Well, the strategy paid off. 1 run for Minnesota, 1 hit, 1 Red Sox error. The Twins left 2. In the middle of the third, it's Minnesota 2 and Boston nothing.
Little demonstration was strictly for smokers who never tasted a Camel cigarette. Camel smokers, you know what we mean. You other guys, start walking.
The Twins have at least 1 fan in Michigan today, 11-year-old boy named David Bruce, who used to live in Minneapolis, pulling hard for them from his home in Battle Creek, Michigan. We want to send him our best. Commissioner Eckert, that's his publicity aide there, Joe Reichler with him, and Senator Edward Brooke, the Commonwealth. And here's Jim Lombard leading off for the Red Sox. Last of the third inning. Dean Chance on the mound for the Twins. Strike to Lombard. Lombard batting .126. He's won a couple of games for himself with his bat, though. There's a little pop on a check swing, and that one's in. Lombard whoops it into right. Red Sox had a couple of hits like that yesterday. Top of the order coming up. Jerry Adair grounded out in the first inning. Bobby Dorr, the first base coach, wants to, Lombard wants something. I think he wants his cap brought out, take his batting helmet off.
I think the Minnesota dugout's trying to get Killebrew to play behind the runner, Curt.
To step off the bag. Now there's Cal Irmer, Minnesota manager. No manager's ever taken over midway of a season and won a pennant. Sam Mealy started the year. He was released by the Twins, and Irmer came up to take the club over. Ground ball, perfect double play ball to Carew. One Versailles to first for the double play. Taylor made all the way. Carew to Versailles to Killebrew. 2 down for the Red Sox, nobody on. And Dalton Jones up. He lined out his first time. Batting .282. Jones from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Yastrzemski on deck. Minnesota ahead. 2-0 lasted the third. There's a ball hit sharply to Carew. He stabs it with a sure pair of hands. Throws him out. And that's it. Twice Jones has hit the ball hard now to second base. No base hits to show, though. No runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, nobody left. At the end of the third inning, Minnesota 2 and Boston nothing.
Last year, over 250,000 owners of other low-price cars were won over to Plymouth. It started a movement, a momentum, a beat. And the beat goes on with Petula Clark.
Plymouth, when you over, beat goes on. The styles have come and surely styles will go on. Plymouth beauty is not a fad, you know. Fury's got what you've been waiting for.
Maybe this year, Plymouth will win you over.
2 new events have been added to the NBC sports schedule, both coming up the first 2 weeks in November. On November 4th and 5th, the Hawaiian Open, live and in color from Honolulu, the first live color sports event ever telecast by satellite from Hawaii. And then on November 11th, from Washington, D.C., the International Horse Race of Laurel, Maryland. The best foreign horses in the world against the United States thoroughbreds. Ted Eulander fouls it off, strike one. Eulander flied to left his first time. Batting .257. The Twins have 2 runs, 2 hits. The Red Sox, no runs, 3 hits. The Red Sox have made 2 costly errors. Trying to bunt his way on. Strike 2. Rod Carew's on deck, and then Jerry Zimmerman. Rod Carew. Lombard's 2-strike pitch. A little bit high. 1-2. One-two pitch. Outside, 2-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Twins batting in the top of the fourth. Foul back. Remember, the World Series will be seen on NBC television, heard on NBC radio. Jim Lemon coaching at first for the Twins. Billy Martin at third. A couple of former American League stars. There's a high fly ball to deep right field. Harrelson has room. Smith there. Hauls him off and makes the grab. It shows you this is no easy ballpark for a left-handed batter here. That ball's hit a long ways, about 390, but it was an out. It's different to left field. Long right field here. Rod Carew grounded out his first time. Batting .294. Gary Zimmerman on deck. Straight away for Carew. In there for a strike is Jim Lombard. Lombard leads the American League in strikeouts. Ball, one strike. He has struck out 2 so far. He now has 243 strikeouts. Jim Bunning leads the National League. He has 243. 1-1 pitch. Petroselli up with it beautifully. The throw in time. He's got it. Rico Petroselli taking a base hit away from Rod Carew. 2 down for the Twins, and Jerry Zimmerman up. He grounded out his first time. The Twins are ahead 2-0 in the fourth. The ball, talking about Bunning. Bunning is due to pitch today in San Francisco. Phils will close their season out there, and Bunning, of course, with some strikeouts today, can win the strikeout leadership of the majors. Bounding ball to Petroselli again. And that's it for the Twins. They're all gone in the fourth. 3 up, 3 down, the middle of the fourth. The score, the Twins 2 and the Red Sox nothing.
You're new in the league, John, huh?
Yeah.
Why did you join?
Went out of town one day. Business. Took the family's right guard with me.
You left your whole family defenseless?
Yeah.
Get off my son, June.
Gillette Right Guard. The perfect personal family deodorant, because nothing touches you but the spray itself. Don't leave your family defenseless. Get an extra Gillette Right Guard.
Is your pen still handing you the same old line? You need a new Papermate refill. Write really fine. Or really bold. Be emotional in red. Be decisive in black. There's a Papermate refill that's just your style.
Well, if you don't think this fellow's had some kind of year, Carl Yastrzemski leads the American League in runs scored and base hits, in RBIs. He's tied for home runs. He leads the league in total bases, batting percent, and slugging percent. He leads the Red Sox in 11 offensive departments. And leads the American League in 7 offensive departments. He singled his first time up. He's now batting .323. Oh, he's on his way to his second American League batting championship. Ken Harrelson on deck, and then George Scott. Dean Chance. Foul off, strike one. fans who have never seen Yastrzemski play before across the country, he takes one of the most vicious cuts in baseball. He won his first American League batting title in 1963 when he hit .321. There's his leadership in RBIs over the closest man, Killebrew. There's a drive hit to deep left field. That ball is off the wall. Ellison pegs into second, and Yastrzemski's got a double. Yesterday, that would have been a home run with the wind blowing out. Today, the wind is blowing from third to first. It held the ball up. That's the way he used to hit, to the opposite field about 75% of the time. And that's where the left field fence used to help him. This year, he's turned into a full hitter. Bobby Doerr coaching at first for the Red Sox. Ed Koufax at third. Ken Harrelson's the batter. Harrelson grounded out his first time. Red Sox now have out-hit the Twins 4-2. The Twins are ahead 2-0. A ball to Harrelson. Out at Tiger Stadium, the Angels fail to score in the fifth inning. The Tigers lead the Angels 5-2. Tigers batting last of the fifth, first game of their doubleheader. High fly to right field. Yastrzemski is tagging. Oliva with the grab. Yastrzemski's not coming. The throw is to Berzais, the shortstop. One away. Red Sox 2 runs behind, playing it safe. George Scott's up now. He popped up his first time. In football, Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, no score. The end of the first quarter. In the NFL, the Steelers and Eagles 7-7 at the end of the first quarter. Baltimore leads the 49ers 10-0 into the first quarter. Green Bay over Atlanta 7-0 into the first quarter. And the surprising Detroit Lions lead the Cardinals 14-0 into the first quarter. The Tigers just scored another run in their fifth inning. They lead the Angels 6-2 now in the fifth. A ball to Scott, and the Tigers are still batting. We'll keep repeating the circumstance. If the Tigers win 2 games today, they will tie the winner of this game for the pennant. The Tigers split today, or lose 1, that's all they have to do. They're out of it, and the winner of this game is the American League pennant winner. 2-0 to George Scott. Dean Chance didn't like that call. And we'll repeat again, never in the history of the American League have 3 teams gone to the last day of the season with a chance to win the pennant. The 2-0 pitch. Oh, he hit one yesterday, a line drive way up in the center field bleachers. Two and one to Scott. Batting .304. Yastrzemski at second, 1 out. Petroselli's on deck. 2-1 delivery. 3-1 now. has had good control so far, but now he's behind Scott. Pitch. Foul back, and we go to 3-2 on George Scott. Yastrzemski at second, one away. Throws to Verzai's, double play. Chance just caught that ball in the webbing of his glove. Watch this one. Dean Chance. Yeah, Yastrzemski got a base hit off his glove in the first inning, but he held onto that liner. That was ticketed back to the box in the center field. Might have scored Yastrzemski. So the Red Sox, no runs, one hit, there were no errors, nobody left, and in the end of the fourth inning here at Fenway Park, Twins 2 and Red Sox nothing.
This is the tire shape of the future. From Firestone, a new concept of tire safety. The tires on your car probably look like this. Now, here's the new Firestone Super Sports Wide Oval. Lower. Nearly 2 inches wider than your present tire. To start faster, corner safer, run cooler, stop 25% quicker. New 67 high-performance cars are on Firestone Wide Ovals. Get them for your present car. White stripe or red stripe, because wherever wheels are rolling, wide ovals lead the way. The name that's known is Firestone. With tomorrow's tire today. Super Sports Wide Oval Tire. Another first in tire safety engineering from Firestone.
Going now to the fifth inning. Dean Chance took a strike, and to carry you along here with play-by-play, Pee Wee Reese.
Okay, Mr. Gowdy, there's Dean Chance. There'll be a replay on that last line drive. You can see it was a bang-bang job, and the shortstop cutting right in back of Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski evidently, of course, he did think that the ball was through there. And Dean Chance, after making that fine play, is the first hitter. And this may be one of the world's worst looking hitters. Watch this. Got an eye like an eagle. 2-2 is the count on Dean Chance. The Twins lead in this ball game by a score of 2-0. They scored 1 in the first and 1 in the third. This is the day. As Dean Chance bails out with that left foot a little bit, Lombard gets his third strikeout. Lombard has pitched well enough for this game to be tied, because the 2 runs that they scored were both on arrows. Versailles batting an even 200. Today, he fired out to left field and popped up to the shortstop. The catcher, Gibson, giving the signs. Moves a little outside with the target, too far outside by Lombard. Dick Williams, the manager for the Red Sox, and there he's pitching coach, the great pitcher for the Giants and the Dodgers, Sal Magley. And he told me something yesterday. It's quite a tribute to the left fielder, Carl Yastrzemski. Boy, Versailles had a good swing at that one, saying that he had been around baseball for a long time and seen a lot of baseball players, but this is the greatest year by a ball player he's ever seen, Carl Yastrzemski. in every phase of the game. And that's quite a compliment, because Magley does not have too much to say as a rule.
Not too many compliments.
Jim Lombard, the count of 2-2 on the little shortstop Versailles. Just missed with the curveball. He'll be followed by Cesar Tovar, who walked his last time up. There's a good shot of the catcher. Little tap out to the shortstop. Petroselli's had a busy day. He flips the ball over to George Scott. Let's pause now for station identification.
This is WRGB, Schenectady.
Cesar Tovar, 2 up and 2 down here in the top half of the 5th inning, with the Red Sox trailing this game by a score of 2-0. Detroit leads California by a score of 6-2 after 5. Detroit must win both games to get in a playoff in this American League. If they split, the winner of this game wins the American League pennant race. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tovar. This fella has played everywhere. Ball hit to Dalton Jones at third. The flip over to George Scott, and that's all for Tovar, and that's all for the Twins here in the top half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And the score after 4.5 innings of play, it's still Minnesota 2, the Red Sox nothing.
Whoa, 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 Winston tastes good. Like a cigarette should. Yes, Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. Like your cigarette should, Winston.
Ever since Del Cannon started smoking Prince Albert, he never goes anywhere without his pipe. That's because Prince Albert smokes cool and smooth with no bite. You get that great natural tobacco taste you can stay with all day long. And PA stays fresh thanks to the new foil pouch. Try Prince Albert today, and you'll never go anywhere without your pipe.
Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit for an audio update from Jim Simpson. Come on in, Jim.
All right, Pee Wee, and thank you very much. The Tigers have added a run in the last of the 5th. Kaline led off with a single, but overran first base and was thrown out. Willie Horton came back with a double. Freehan singled him home. Horton has now scored 3 runs, and Freehan has driven in a couple, as has Willie. Score now with 2 out in the Angels' 6th is California 2, but Detroit 6. Now back to you, Pee Wee, in Boston.
Thank you, Jim. The first hitter here at Fenway Park, Rico Petroselli, the shortstop. He's 1 for 1 today, and he's had a busy day in the field. Made some fine plays. There's a ball popped up out into center field. Ted Uhliner couldn't pick it up right away. He comes in and takes it. They tell me that at this time of the year, and Curt probably knows this because he did the games here for 15 years, latter part of September, the 1st of October, this is a real bad sun field. In fact, the sun even gives the second baseman a little trouble.
That's it, Pee Wee, and it comes right over the rim of Fenway Park here, which is not a high park, but it's murderous out there in center and right.
Reggie Smith. He struck out his only time up today.
Of course, they don't worry about the shadows here too much. The stands aren't that high like they are in Yankee Stadium and some of these other stadiums around.
Dean Chance has been hit hard a couple times today, but right at someone. He jammed Reggie Smith Tovar, the third baseman, takes it in foul territory. Chance is a type of pitcher. That good fastball of his. Tries to keep it in on the right-handed hitters and throw that slider out over the plate. Lee Stang warming up for the Red Sox. The 8th place hitter. Russ Gibson, the catcher. Curveball by Dean Chance gets the outside corner, strike one. We have 2 away, and the Red Sox trail by a score of 2-0. Outside, 1-1. Both George Scott, Ken Harrelson talking about Chance. If he keeps that slider on the outside part of that plate, you try to pull him, you're in trouble. You have to go back through the middle in the right field with him. It's a good shot of the crowd here today, and they've had this stands filled many times.
Someone figured, Pee-wee, that they've drawn 70% of the capacity all season, which is almost unheard of.
You can see Dean Chance walk up of that mound. He thought he had him. Gibson started. He checked his swing. Mr. Lester Shylock, the umpire, said no, he didn't go around on it. 2-2 is the count on Russ Gibson. He got him on that one. And that's all for the Red Sox here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. The score after 5 full innings, Minnesota still 2 and the Boston Red Sox nothing.
The 1968 Chryslers are here, 15 models deep, with no small versions. New Yorker, our most luxurious Chrysler, with options like a 3-in-1 divided front seat. 300, the latest version of the sports bred Chrysler. Concealed headlights, a 440 cubic inch V8, and bucket seats, all standard. Newport Custom, all the basic Chrysler luxuries and over 50 tailored to you options. New Yorker, 300, Newport, with a kind of full-sized luxury that could only come from Chrysler, and does. This year, make it big.
Let's pause now for station identification.
Western excitement on the High Chaparral tonight at 10, 9 Central Time.
This is a green pepper 68. This is a red pepper 68. This is a Ted Pepper 68. A Ted Pepper car. Chrysler's Plymouth 1968. Pepperality. Pepperality. Ted Pepper sells automobiles like nobody else.
Saratoga Vichy and some of its lookalikes. Club soda, bland. Imitation Vichy's, not bad. But you can always tell the original, and not just by its yellow label and long-lasting fizz. Saratoga Vichy does things differently from other mixers.
A bearded bum becomes a family butler. David Niven stars as My Man Godfrey, tonight, 11:15.
He's been instrumental in both runs. He walked in the first inning. He scored a run on an error by George Scott, who had cut off the throw from Reggie Smith, and he tossed it over Gibson's head. Then in the third inning, Killebrew got a base hit. Harmon Killebrew, first pitch to him, outside. They'll be careful with him. They will not try to give him a good pitch to hit. Trying to keep the ball away from him. Two 2-0 the count on Harmon Killebrew, leading things off here for the Twins in the top half of the sixth inning. Now let's see what he does. He may get the hit sign from Billy Martin coaching at third base. There's Billy. You can see something he's doing there is the sign. Maybe backing up right now. Looked like he was ready to cut down on that 3-0 pitch. It was high and inside, and that's the fourth walk given up by Lombard. Tony Oliva. What's he done? He doubled in the first inning. And he walked his last time up. That's the 131st base on ball for Killebrew. He leads the league. Lee Stang still throwing in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Lombard shakes his head, says that's not the pitch he wants. As we talked about yesterday, Oliva, there's Lee Stang.
We are experiencing technical difficulties affecting the video portion of our program. Please do not adjust your set.
As you'll notice when he goes back up there. But they still try to pitch him inside. You get that ball out over that plate, which he looks like he can't reach. That's the ball he lines in the left field, as he did in the first inning off the scoreboard. He has to lean over to reach the outside part of that plate. That's way outside.
Here we have a situation right now in this ballpark. Yesterday they were roaring on every pitch. The Red Sox tied early and then went ahead. Right now this ballpark's like a morgue with the Red Sox trailing by 2 runs. Of course, they'll come alive, but it's very quiet here compared to yesterday.
For call strike 2. Oliva looking at Nestor Shalak like he couldn't believe it. Yes, sir, Curt, they really did. The fans here yesterday, they had some life. Of course, they had a little bit more to cheer about. We're only in the 6th inning, though. Pitch is high and outside. Makes the count 2-2. There's no one away. Harmon Killebrew on at first base. Lombard all the way for the Red Sox. Dean Chance all the way for the Twins. Curveball just got the outside corner. Caught him looking. That's the 4th strikeout by Big Jim, Gentleman Jim. Brings up Bob Allison. And he was one of the strikeouts his last time up. Bob batting .257. Has a good ripple at that one. But no contact. Bob Allison has 24 home runs. He's a big fella. 75 runs batted in. Wears those pants high. They try to keep the ball down on him. Watch that catcher. Kind of get an indication
where they try to pitch a hitter sometime. Of course, he doesn't always hold true. Sometimes he holds that target inside, and the pitcher will pitch at his right knee, giving the signs. A real fine pitch to Lombard, keeping that ball down and away on Allison. So Oliva and Bob Allison both looking at a third strike. That is the 5th strikeout for Lombard. Brings up Ted Uhlander, the center fielder. Flied out to left and flied out to center field. He's 0 for 2. Uhlander batting .257. Ball hit off to the left, back up in the stands. It makes a man very happy. End of the 6th inning. Over Detroit. The Tigers lead the Angels by a score of 6-2. Detroit must win both games to get in the playoff with the club that wins this game right here. There's a ball hit out into right field. Ken Harrelson underneath it and takes it for out number 3. That's all for the Twins here in the top half of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So the score after 5.5 innings of play, it's still the Twins 2 and the Red Sox nothing.
What happens when a little water meets a little heads-up hair groom? Love. Heads Up mixes with water. You get water's clean look with the staying power of hairdressing. And you just add water to comb it again. Isn't love wonderful?
Nobody knows how Gillette gets such a rich, creamy mountain of smooth shaving comfort into every can of new Gillette Foamy. But then, nobody makes a lather like Foamy. So moist, so rich, so creamy. Nobody makes a lather like Gillette.
Jim Lombard leading things off for the Red Sox. Dean Chance is just ready to pitch, and Bob Allison is about 30 yards from his position in left field. Still walking to his position. And the umpire, Shalak, caught him. He bunts one down to third baseline. They're going to have to hurry if the Lombard gets himself another base hit. How about that? The Red Sox have 5 hits. The fellow putting on that jacket down at first base has 2 of them, the pitcher. Now then the fans come alive as the pitcher starts things off with a base hit here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Red Sox trail by a score of 2-0. Jerry Adair, Killebrew trying to get Dean Chance's attention that he's going to be playing in back of the pitcher, Jim Lombard. He will not hold him on at first base. So much noise. Rod Carew, the second baseman, went in and told him. Adair, the last time up, hit into a double play, but Lombard gone at first. Him taking a sharp lead. You can see Killebrew in back of him at first base. Ball right back to the middle. The base hit. Lombard, will he try to go to third? No, sir. He holds up as Uhlander charges that ground ball on his first base. Jerry Adair. The Red Sox have nothing going. Well, as Curt mentioned a while ago, he said the fans been kind of dead here today, well, they're not dead now. Dean Chance talking to his catcher, Jerry Zimmerman. Talking to Dean before the game, he had a telegram from his friend. They're a very close friend, Rick Reichert over at California. They're playing at Detroit today, you know, and he says, Dean, good luck to you. You take care of the Red Sox, we'll take care of the Tigers. I will have to wait and see. Will Dick Williams sacrifice in this situation? You can see Versailles holding him on. He bunts the ball, Dalton Jones, off to the left. Don't be surprised if Dick Williams changes. There's Jerry Adair at first base, Jim Lordberg down at second. Warming up for the Twins, the big right-hander, Al Worthington in the bullpen. Dick Williams may switch over and let Dalton Jones hit away. He did. He hit the ball right by Koval out into left field. Bob Allison charged that ground ball and held Jim Lundborg on at third base. To talk to his pitcher, Dean Chance. Dick Williams, the manager of the Red Sox. You could just see Cal Armour tell Dean Chance, if that ball hit back to you, go home with it. And would you believe the base is loaded? The Red Sox trail by a score of 2-0. Base is loaded, and who is the hitter? Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski has a single and a double today. He takes the first pitch, it's inside, ball one. This is the first serious trouble. On at third base, Lombard. Second base, Adair. First base, Dalton Jones. This is the first trouble that Dean Chance has really been in today. The fans are going wild. Yastrzemski base hit out into center field. That'll score 2 runs. Dalton Jones going to third. Here's Adair coming in to score the tying run. The throw came in at second base, but the runners are on at first and third. Well, you saw that sign there. Bring on St. Louis. The hitter with runners on first and third, no one out. Ball outside. The infield is in. On at third base, Dalton Jones. Over at first base, Carl Yastrzemski. Got the outside corner. There's the pitch that he and George Scott is talking about. That slider or curveball getting that outside corner. don't try to pull it. This game is all tied up as the Red Sox have come up with 2 big runs here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. A good sink of a chance. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This game is for all the marbles. They have been playing all year, and it's boiled down to 1 game. Way outside, 2-2. Dean Chance looking for his 21st win of the year. On at third base, that's Dalton Jones. At first base, Carl Yastrzemski. No one out, and the Red Sox have 2 runs in. Gary Zimmerman, the catcher. That ball inside. Versailles, the shortstop, in to talk to Dean Chance. Well, Dick Williams, the manager of the Red Sox, have Yastrzemski moving on his 3-2 pitch to stay out of the double play. Or will he let him stay there as Harrelson struck out a couple times yesterday? Does not want to be taken out of a big inning here. We'll wait and see. The count 3-2 on Ken Harrelson. There goes Yastrzemski. High hopper. After hurt. Versailles comes home with it. He has no chance. Now let's take a look at this. That was a high hopper to Versailles. Watch this now. Ken Harrelson chops this ball down in front of the plate. Look at that. A real high hopper, and Versailles elects to go home with the ball, and he surprised everyone, and everyone is safe.
He had only one man he could have gotten there, Pee Wee, and that was Harrelson at first. Dempsey was already in the second, as you fans saw. The Twins made mistakes yesterday and gave up about 4 runs to the Red Sox. Right now, a new pitcher coming on. That's all for Chance. He scored that one a fielder's choice.
New pitcher, Al Worthington. Al Lermer, number 43, the manager of the Twins. Well, there's a break in the action here at Fenway Park with a score. Boston 3, Minnesota 2.
In a few hours, this plane will be filled with secretaries, families, and businessmen, all starting on the shrimp cocktail at 600 miles per hour. The jet age. But to American Airlines, there's more to flying than a glamorous lunch 7 miles in the sky. In this room is the largest business computer in the world, just to make sure of your reservation, the menu you want, your fare plan, your connecting airlines, and whether you want a rental car waiting. $40 million to keep you from getting the lobster if you ask for a roast beef sandwich. We built American with a professional traveler in mind. For old hands like this, you don't run an airline on glamour alone.
Al Worthington has completed Nelson at first base in Jose Tartabull. Well, we'll kind of set the scene for you. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning, still no one out. The Red Sox have come up with 3 runs to go ahead in this ball game by a score of 3-2. We have runners on first and second, still no one out, and they have big George the Great Scott. Petroselli, the shortstop, wants to talk to him. Well, Dick Williams, bunt Yastrzemski and Tartabull over, or we let the big Scott swing away as he calls for, I believe he calls it a tater, doesn't he, Curt?
A long tater.
He calls a home run a long tater. There's Dick Williams, manager of the Red Sox. Al Worthington taking over for Dean Chance. The ball gets away from Jerry Zimmerman. Going to third, Paul Yastrzemski. Down to second, Jose Tartabull. There's Al Worthington. The first pitch to George Scott. He squared around like he was going to bunt. He doesn't have to worry about it now. Has some action in both bullpens. Jim Grant and Rowland warming up for the Twins. John Wyatt and Brett warming up for the Red Sox. Tartabull at second. Yastrzemski at third. George Scott the hitter. Curveball in there. Call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Worthington has been around for quite a long time. That was a wild pitch chopped up against Al. Curveball. Swung on and missed. The Tigers are leading California over Detroit by a score of 6-2 after 7. At third base, Yastrzemski at second base, Tartabull. Score over Detroit is now 6-4. California has come up with 2. Ball gets away from Zimmerman. Yastrzemski comes in to score. Moving over to third is Tartabull. Comes in to score the 4th run in this inning, and the 4th run in the ball game for the Boston Red Sox. And the Twins right now, let's face it, they are not playing good ball. And the Red Sox have been taking advantage of it the last 2 days. George Scott goes fishing for a wide sweeping curve. Strikes him out. Over at Detroit. John Mincher. I believe that's his second home run of the game. Hit a home run in the 6th inning with a man on, and the score, as I told you now, 6-4. Coming in the pitch for Detroit Tigers. You know, Sparma started that game. The Tigers blew a 6-2 lead last night in that second game of the doubleheader. In the 8th inning, they were leading. Petroselli is the hitter. For a squeeze play there, you can see Zimmerman had Al Worthington pitch out. On at third base, that's Tartabull. Keep an eye on him
they may try to squeeze him. Petrucelli takes that pitch inside, ball 2. The infield is in. Third base and shortstop you can see on the screen, and the second baseman. Count 2-0. Tartabull with a sharp lead at third base. 3-0. Came in to relieve Dean Chance, made 2 wild pitches. It hurt a little bit. Tartabull up the line, and Petrucelli gets the green light on the 3-0 pitch. Makes the count 3-1. Petrucelli 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the second inning. Tartabull edges off of that bag. Curveball outside. Here comes Early Wynn. He's the pitching coach for Cal Lermer, the Minnesota Twins. Going to have a little huddle on the mound. Quite a pitcher. He won 300 games, didn't he?
Yes, sir. One of the best in the history of the American League. Started with the Senators, the Indians, the White Sox, back to the Indians again. Early Wynn.
Let's take a look now. There he is. One of the great ones. Take a look at the infield now for the Twins. I don't imagine they'll be back at double play depth. With Reggie Smith, he'd be a hard man to double. Carew is playing in. Try to cut this one off at home. Worthington down low in the dirt again. As Zimmerman blocked this one. Tartabull at third. At first base, Rico Petrucelli. Reggie Smith at that closed stance of his. He's a switch hitter. Foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's getting a little dark here. A little overcast. This game is official now. We're in the 6th inning. Tartabull leads off a third. Takes the pitch, it's too low. Don't be surprised, as Al Worthington, don't be surprised if Reggie Smith gets on. We may see a pinch hitter for Russ Gibson. The fair ball hit Killebrew in the knee, and Tartabull comes in to score the 5th run in this inning. There was a line shot by Reggie Smith. Killebrew tries to block the ball. He did block it, hit him in the knee, and bounced too far away from him to get Reggie Smith. There's Harmon going back to his position. And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Russ Gibson. It'll be Norm Seaburn. And Killebrew gets an arrow on that last ball hit by Reggie Smith. And has this been a big inning for the Red Sox? Still only 1 out. And it was all started by a pitcher named of Jim Lombard, who has 2 hits in this game. He bunted one down the third base line and beat it out. Norm Seaburn batting for Russ Gibson. Elston Howard over in the dugout putting on the shin guards, the catching equipment. He'll be the new catcher.
Runners on first and second. In there, call strike one. Seaborn batting 178. I think he originally came up with the Yankees. He went to Kansas City in the Roger Maris deal. Roger Maris came to the Yankees. Seaborn went to Kansas City. One ball, one strike on Seaborn. Worthington has been low and outside. The 1-1 pitch. Seaborn. Kind of uppercutted that ball. At second base, Petroselli at first base, Reggie Smith. Time is called by Nestor Shylock. Still only one away. 5 runs in by the Red Sox here. They laid 5-2 in this ball game. Low and outside. Count is 2-2. The next hitter will be Jim Lombard. He may get a chance to get 2 hits in 1 inning. It's low again. Petroselli and Reggie Smith. The count is 3-2. They may be running with the pitch with 1 away. To try to stay out of that double play. Watch Petroselli at the top of your screen there. See if he goes. Taking too much of a lead. If they strike him out, he'll have a good shot at throwing him out at third. There he goes. Ball hit out to Rod Carew. Only play to Killebrew at first base. So they get 2 away and brings up Jim Lombard. The pitcher, he'll get quite a hand. Not only has 2 hits today, he's kind of settled down since the start of this game. It looks like it may be a little rough the rest of the way in. As Curt told you, this fella is not a bad hitter. He's won some important games with his hit. After 7.5 innings, at the end of 7, Lombard pops 1 up. Rod Carew takes it for the final out, but not before the Red Sox score 5 runs on 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 men left on base. So after 6 full innings, Red Sox 5, Minnesota 2.
Well, you could take a few moments more to teach your pet a new trick. Or select a new cravat. A few moments more to add the finishing touch. Or take a quiet drive in the country. New Super King Size Salem with the extra length that refreshes your taste a few moments longer. And aren't you glad? Here's the famous menthol taste that's springtime fresh. The one menthol taste worth making longer. How will you spend the extra time you get with new Super King Size Salem? Well, you could just enjoy the taste. New Super King Size Salem refreshes your taste a few moments longer.
It's the one taste worth making longer.
Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit for an audio update from Tony Koufax.
Thank you, Pee Wee Reese. We're going into the last half of the 8th inning here with the Tigers leading by the score of 6-4. Joe Sparma's out of the ball game. Fred Gladding has come on in relief. Don Mincher hit his second home run of the ball game with Jimmy Hall on board in the 8th inning to make it 6-4. And now the Tigers are at bat. And now back to Pee Wee Reese in Boston.
Thank you, Tony Koufax. And now over to Curt Gowdy.
All right, Pee Wee. Rod Carew hit by his own foul ball. That's painful. Get a bad bone bruise out of that. Sometimes can hobble a player for days. I remember Vic Wirtz, Ted Williams used to wear special shin guards and special guards over their instep. After receiving bone bruises, it lasted not for days, but for weeks. They're putting that spray on that freezes the tissues, takes the pain away. Carew had grounded out twice. Jim Lomborg could be pitching a shutout here. They have only 2 hits off him. Errors led to a run in the first and a run in the third for the Twins. And Lomborg has grown tougher now as this game has moved along. He's not allowed a base hit since the 3rd inning. He's down low again. His sinker is moving. He has a good sharp curve. He has never defeated Minnesota. If he wins this one, it will be his first win ever against the Twins. And the most important one, of course. We were talking to Jim before the ball game, and he said, you know, Curt, I've never pitched in a big game. You've covered me here when we had the 9th place and 8th place clubs. Yes, I've won 21 games this year, but I've never won a really big game, a game that wins a pennant, a game that is in a World Series. This is my first big ball game I've ever pitched, even though he has 21 wins this year. There's a ground ball to second baseman Adair. One away in the 7th. And this Red Sox crowd now will be roaring. They've really come to life. Watching their miracle team, a bunch of kids that finished 9th last year, now with a chance for the pennant. We have a pinch hitter, Russ Nixon, batting for Jerry Zimmerman. Russ Nixon, who used to play with the Red Sox, batting .237, a sharp line drive type of hitter, takes ball 1. Alston Howard's gone behind the plate for the Red Sox. Al Worthington is scheduled up next. They'll pinch hit for him. Ball 2, 2-0. Lomborg has struck out 5, has walked 4. The only hits will leave a double in the first, Killebrew single in the 3rd. Frank Castro is out on deck to bat for Worthington. And the Twins are starting to get a pitcher ready for the last of the 7th. Strike, letter high fastball. Well, the Red Sox had 10 men up in the 6th inning. There's Castro. Once again, misplays by the Twins in the field have hurt them, as it did yesterday. Little pop-up, Petroselli going back. Yastrzemski's coming on. Yastrzemski on the run. He can play that left field. He used to be a shortstop when he first broke in. He'll charge the ground ball. He'll charge the pop-up. He has a very strong arm, and he'll cover the left field line and hold hits down there to singles, which is very important for the left fielder, and he plays his wall. excellent fashion, of course. He's used to it here. Now it's 2 down, and pinch batter Frank Castro up, hitting .333. 5-2 Red Sox. Minnesota batting in the 7th. The Tigers did have a 6-2 lead. It's down to 6-4 now, with the Tigers batting in the last of the 8th inning. If the Red Sox hold on to their lead here, they'll have to wait and see what happens out in Detroit. The strike. And the same for the Twins if they rally to pull this one out. The Tigers must win 2 games today to tie the winner of this game for the pennant. There's the fly ball to right fielder Tartable. And that's it. Twins are out 1-2-3. And Lombard moving along stronger as the game progresses. 3 up and 3 down. In the middle of the 7th, the score, the Red Sox 5 and the Twins 2.
Oh, he's not going to make this next pitch. It's his time to get it. Dodge Fever.
Here goes excitement. 68 Dodge Polara, designed to raise your temperature just by the look of it. The feel of it. The drive of it. Eye-catching, breathtaking luxury, now at popular prices. Inviting new interiors. Eager V8 power to move out on. 68 Dodge Polara.
Fever strikes again. Now it's your turn.
The new pitcher for the Twins will be Jim Rowland. As this capacity crowd takes their 7th inning stretch, let's give you some football scores. At the end of the half in the American Football League, San Diego leads Buffalo 21-3. At the half, the New York Jets 16, Miami Dolphins 7. At the half, Denver Broncos 6, Houston 3. Kansas City plays Oakland. They haven't started yet. In the NFL, Baltimore 27, the 49ers nothing at the half. The Eagles 24, the Steelers 14 at the half. The Redskins 17, the Giants 13 at the half. Green Bay leads Atlanta 16-0 at halftime. The Bears 7, the Vikings nothing at the end of the first quarter. The Lions 21, the Cardinals 17 at halftime. The Rams and Cowboys no score at the end of the first quarter. And the Browns 7, New Orleans nothing at the end of the first quarter. Russ Nixon behind the plate now. Commissioner Eckert been here for the weekend watching this Red Sox Twins series. Somebody just hung a banner over the center field bleachers. They make him put it back up again. Rowland, 1 win, or no wins, 1 loss. His 25th appearance. The guards moving in. Jim Rowland, born in Franklin, North Carolina. There's a line drive off the glove of Versailles, and Jerry Adair is on. That's the 9th hit for the Red Sox. Minnesota has only 2 hits. Watch this one now. Versailles on the replay tries to time his jump. This one just off his glove. There it is. Gave it quite an effort. Dalton Jones, 1 hit in 3 times. He's hit the ball hard every time. Takes the fastball strike, 0-1. Carl Yastrzemski on deck. The crowd knows there's a change out here. Listen to the roar when they put 2 more runs up for the Angels. They're waiting. They don't know yet. And the scoreboard boy holding it. There it is. 6-4. And the roar as the crowd sees the Angels come a little closer to the Tigers. And they all remember the Tigers losing the second game last night after having a 6-2 lead.
I can remember the scorekeeper in the old polo grounds. Curt used to play around. Well, of course, most of the scorekeepers do that. They love to kind of hold these fans in suspense.
Well, this is the old-fashioned scoreboard here. This is not the electronic scoreboard that we see around the major leagues. Curveball hit off the glove of Carew. The throw is to second, not in time. Runners on first and second. Dalton Jones now has hit the ball hard 4 times in a row.
Curt,
They give him a base hit.
You talk about a game of inches. There's 2 base hits, and both of them off gloves.
Now Carl Yastrzemski is finishing up the season in championship fashion. He's had 3 for 3 today. He's knocked in 2 runs. Leads the league in batting, RBIs, tied for the lead in home runs. Frank Robinson, a Triple Crown winner last year, 10 years before we had one. From Mantle, 56 to Robinson last year. Ball 1. Yastrzemski is now hitting .325. Raised his average 3 points in this game. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Red Sox ahead 5-2, last of the 7th. Ball 2. The Red Sox have not won a pennant since 1946. They've had the stars here. Tom Yawkey has spent the money. He's done everything to get a winner. But the last 5 years, the Red Sox have been a lowly second division ball club. And suddenly, everything fell into place this season. The 2-0 pitch. Curveball hit in the air to right field. 4th hit in a row. They're holding Adair up. Yastrzemski is now 4 for 4 in the game.
Curt, he's not only made a believer out of Sal Magnet, he's made a believer out of Pee Wee. I believe he is some kind of a ball player.
Well, he's the old man in the ball club. He's 27 years old. Cal Irmer walking out. Jose Tartabull will be the next batter. And Irmer is wondering, what can I do? The game is all over in Detroit. The Tigers have won the first game 6-4. And now the Tigers, if they win the second game, will tie the winner of this game for the pennant. Jim Grant's been warming up out there in the Twin bullpen. Hernandez. Red Sox now has slashed out 11 hits in this game. The 2 for the Twins. Yastrzemski, by the way, after his 4th consecutive hit, is now hitting .326. Jim Grant, who just 2 years ago was a 20-game winner. Had a bad knee that's bothered him. Well, the Red Sox had 5 hits in a row to start off the 6th without anybody going out. Now they've had 3 hits in a row here in the last of the 7th. They sting the ball right down through their order. They can all swing that bat. Right now, there's a break in the action here at Boston with a score. The Boston Red Sox 5 and the Minnesota Twins 2.
When we bring a new razor into the world, who do you suppose rushes out to try it? Why, the men whose beards are real nightmares. The men who tried everything else. Men whose 5 o'clock shadows won't wait for 5 o'clock. Men who've almost given up.
Oh?
Those are the men who rushed out and tried our Gillette Pigmatic razor. And you know, they like it. The light feel, the pressureless feel, the freedom from nicks and cuts can end those nightmares. The Gillette Pigmatic razor costs $2.95. Ask your face about it.
Curt Gowdy, Pee Wee Reese, and Sandy Koufax again. There's the final of the Tigers and Angels in their first game. 6-4 Tigers. They'll be starting in about 20 minutes from now, the second game at Tiger Stadium, Detroit. And the cities of Boston and Minnesota are one of the cities, and the fans of that city's major league team across America will be sitting and standing by waiting to see what finally happens this evening and who's going to represent the American League. Jose Tartabull hits it down to Killebrew. He comes home with it. Go back to first, and they've got a double play. 3-2-3. That makes it 2 down. With runners on second and third. The batter is George Scott. That was quick. It didn't take long. When you double Tartabull up, you're doubling a man up who can run the 100 in around 9.6. George Scott, gone 0 for 3. Runners on second and third, 2 down. Grant's in there with a strike. Jones at third, Carl Yastrzemski at second. Now back at strike 2 to George Scott. The Twins in their 8th inning will have the top of the order up. Resize, Tovar, and Killebrew. Jim Grant won 5 and lost 6. This is his 27th appearance. The outfield straight away for Scott. Struck him out. Grant did a great job in relief, coming in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and getting the Twins out of that jam. In the 7th, the Red Sox had no runs, 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. And at the end of 7, it's the Red Sox 5 and the Twins 2.
Hello. Hi. You have an honest face.
Thanks.
What do you do?
I'm a Phillips 66 dealer.
Which means?
Well, I pump gasoline, check tires, clean windshields, make sure your battery, oil, water are okay. And
Excuse me. Can you put that briefly?
I sell.
Isn't that putting it a bit too briefly?
Oh, why? You can buy gasoline anywhere. I have a high-performance gasoline. That's what counts. I also give good service. That's selling.
How do you know you give good service?
While my new station was being built, Phillips 66 gave me a whole training course. I graduated with honors.
How do you know the gasoline is so high performance?
Well, Phillips 66 has proved its performance in every driving condition from coast to coast. To do that, you got to have an edge.
And yours is performance.
Right. And one other thing.
What?
Me.
Next time you drop in at the store, look for the one-way arrow. It points to Pepsi-Cola in one-way, no deposit, no return bottles. The ones you never take back.
Time is now during the first 10 days of October to get extra dividends at Schenectady Savings Bank. Make your deposit on or before October 10th. Earn dividends from October 1st. The latest dividend was at the total rate of 5% a year. Come to either office or bank by mail. It's so convenient and so profitable to save at Schenectady Savings Bank. A bearded bum becomes a family butler. David Niven stars as My Man Godfrey, tonight, 11:15.
Reese is batting for Zolover's Eyes at the top of the Twin order. Reese batting .240 for the season. Jim Lomborg has gone all the way, spun a two-hitter here. Ball one. Lomborg has not allowed a hit since Killebrew singled in the third. The only man to reach base since then, Killebrew walked in the sixth, leading off. He has retired 13 of the last 14 men he's faced. There's a good example of his sinker ball. That really came in and dipped down. His sinker is alive today. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cesar Tovar on deck. Foul back. 1-2 to Rich Reese. There's Tovar. The Red Sox have 5 runs, 11 hits. Minnesota 2 runs, 2 hits. The Tigers have won their first game. They win the second game. They'll tie the winner of this game for the pennant. Playoff will start tomorrow. Bounding ball foul. One and two to Rich Reese. Line foul up in the seats. Well, this is one of those gorgeous New England fall afternoons. The sun out, a little bit of tang in the air. Invigorating day. The 1-2 delivery. 2-2. John Wyatt, a right-hander, and Ken Brett, a left-hander, warming up for the Red Sox. Foul again. Back out of play. That's a real surprise not to see Wyatt out there, but that 18-year-old boy, Ken Brett, who's pitched only 2 innings in the major leagues. The 2-2 delivery. He's got a base hit up the middle. That's the first hit for the Twins since the 3rd inning. Rich Reese is on, and Cesar Tovar coming up. He's grounded out, walked, and grounded out. If the Tigers win the second game, the Red Sox win this game, a tie, a playoff would start in Boston tomorrow. The Tigers win the second game and the Twins win this one, the playoff would start tomorrow in Minnesota. A perfect double play ball. Adair tags, throws to first, double play.
Boy, Curt, that's a real tough play for Jerry Adair. Now just take a look at this on the replay. That runner barreling in on you, and to tag that runner and keep getting barrel. Watch this now. He turns completely around and flips that ball to George Scott. It's a real tough play. I think that when Rich Reese hit the dirt, he spiked Jerry Adair.
Dick Williams is getting Adair out of there now, and Mike Andrews probably will come in. Buddy LaRue, the Red Sox trainer. Adair has been a very valuable man for the Red Sox since they got him from Chicago. He filled in a month for Petrocelli at shortstop when Petrocelli had a bad wrist. He's played third base, he's played second base. He gets a big hand as he goes in. And he's hit .290 in the Red Sox uniform. Mike Andrews, a rookie now, has gone in to play second base. So the Twins have 2 out here in the 8th inning, nobody on. And the batter will be Harmon Killebrew with walk, single, and walk. Andrews said, I'm all right. Let's get going. They're going to put the shift on against Killebrew with 2 down, nobody on. Foul off.
Curt, do you think that wasn't a big double play? Instead of this fella coming up with no one on, say that it happened to be 2 men on, he would be the tying run?
Old pitcher's best friend and just came through for Lombard. 1-1. Killebrew, the batter, with Oliva on deck. 2 down, nobody on. Now, Sal Magley is moving to the mound. Wants to talk to Lombard about something. Elston Howard goes out to join them. They may have seen something in Lombard the last couple of pitches they wonder about. He's not telling him anything about Killebrew that Lombard doesn't know about.
No, I don't think so, Curt. He may have been telling him the same thing that Dick wanted to say yesterday. Don't put anybody on unnecessarily. Don't be that careful.
I'll say one thing. Dick Williams has a sense of humor. They won 1 pitch, then there for a strike. When Gary Bell was relieving yesterday, Williams was calling the pitches from the dugout, and he called the fastball for the fastball sign that Killebrew hit for the home run. Williams admitted I call a great game. 2-2 to Harmon Killebrew. 2 out, nobody on. The Red Sox ahead 5-2 in the 8th inning. Fly ball, that may drop. Killebrew going the other way is on with a base hit. And that double play really big now, sandwiched in between 2 base hits here in the 8th inning. And Tony Oliva coming up. Oliva's doubled off the wall in the 1st. And passed intensely in the 3rd, and took a called 3rd strike in the 6th. Well, he's 1 for 2. Red Sox have 11 hits, and the Twins have 4. Tigers and Angels have not started the 2nd game out at Detroit yet. The Tigers won the 1st game 6-4. A strike. We'll be going down to the last minute of the American League season. Before we'll know who's won this thing. And the news will come out of Tiger Stadium. Fouls it out of play. 0-2. The winner of this game will not know whether they're in or not until it's all over in the 2nd game at Detroit. Balls, 2 strikes. Killebrew at 1st, 2 down. Foul back.
Pee-wee, what'd you do there? I was getting out of the way, man.
Two strikes to Tony Oliva. Bob Allison's the on-deck batter. We've not had a home run today. There's been a crosswind blowing from third to first. It's tough to hit one to left today. One-two pitch. Ball laced into right field. Killebrew's going to play it safe. Stop at second. Tarnable up with it. And the Twins now have had 3 hits this inning. But a big double play by the Red Sox. Makes it 2 down. Runners on first and second. And Bob Allison up. Flying out. Struck out twice. 0 for 3. Allison deep and over toward left. He's got a base hit. That ball's headed out in the corner. Killebrew's coming in to score. Oliva's going to third. The throw comes to second, and he's out. They got him at second base. Bob Allison trying to go in there is thrown out, and the rally is ended. They were 2 runs behind when he went in there. Oliva's at third, and he just stands there wondering what happened. Inning. We'll recap it later. The score, Boston 5 and Minnesota 3.
Talking about the good taste of new Super King Size Winston cigarettes. All across the USA, smokers are discovering that just length alone can't make a cigarette taste one bit better. Remember, it's not how long you make it. It's how you make it long. And Winston makes it long by adding an extra measure of the famous good taste that has made Winston America's largest selling cigarette. Buy a pack of new Super King Size Winstons today. It's good. It's good. It's Winston.
Recapping the 8th again, Allison singled. Killebrew scored. Allison tried to go for 2, was thrown out as Oliva was standing on third. Now let's go to Tiger Stadium in Detroit for an audio update from Jim Simpson.
All right, Curt, and as you've already said, Detroit won this important game 6-4, and perhaps the man of the hour in the late innings was Fred Gladding, who came out of the bullpen, faced 7 men over the last 2 innings, and retired 6 of them to save the win for Joe Sparma. And Eddie Matthews had a 2-run single. Willie Horton scored 3 times, had a 2-run home run, and now it's all up to the last game, and the pitchers are already warming up. Danny McLean for Detroit, Rich Clark for the Angels, as we go back to Curt Gowdy in Boston.
Thank you, Jim Simpson. Last of the 8th inning, Rico Petrocelli. We're going to have to recap this for you with all our switching back and forth. Petrocelli fouls it back. Rico has singled, flied out, and walked. 1 out of 2. Well, the Twins had 4 hits there in the 8th inning and got 1 run. Reese singled, and Tovar hit into a double play. Killebrew singled. Oliva singled. The ball. Allison hit that ball into the left field corner. Killebrew scored. Oliva went to third, and Allison tried to go to second and was thrown out by Carl Yastrzemski. There's a deadly throwing arm. He's been throwing runners out ever since he came into the league. Bounding ball to third is fair. Tovar plays it across in time, and there's 1 down. If Allison had held first, Oliva would have been on third. the tying runs would have been on, and Eulander would have been the batter. There are the standings right now. This is a three-way tie as of right now. But, of course, it's going to change when this one's over. Reggie Smith is struck out, fouled out, reached in an error. Ball one to him from Jim Grant. Rich Reese is in left field now for the Twins. Jackie Hernandez is at short. 2-0 to Reggie Smith. Elston Howard on deck for the Red Sox. 5-3, Red Sox leading, last of the 8th. Foul back on the counts, 2-1. Again, 35,770 is the crowd here today. They just couldn't put another person in here. And the Red Sox final home attendance, 1,793,846. Their all-time home record. In a ballpark that seats, they nearly drew 2 million here in a ballpark that seats 33,000. Two and two. Well, the fans are still buzzing about the top of the 8th when the Twins had 4 hits and got 1 run. Foul back on the count, 2-2 to Reggie Smith. The Twins' last chance in the 9th inning. They'll have Eulander to lead it off. Carew and Nixon. Gary Bell and Gary Wozlewski are warming up in the Red Sox bullpen in case Lombard runs into trouble. Foul back again, the count 2-2 to Reggie Smith. Sharply to Grant. Line drive. 2 down. And Elston Howard up for the first time. Here's a replay of this big play with Bob Ellison here in the 8th inning. Now there's a ball hit into the left field corner. Yastrzemski is chasing it down. Killebrew has scored the 3rd run for the Twins. Olivas the 3rd. And as you saw, Yastrzemski fired into Mike Andrews. They had the ball waiting for Ellison as he slid into 2nd. That was the 3rd out. Elston Howard singles to right. So Howard's on. Lombard will be up. He'll get a big hand. Standing ovation for him. Talking about Yastrzemski earlier. Pee-wee told you what Sal Magley said. He's played on championship teams. He's never seen a player have an all-around year like Yastrzemski has this year. Ball 2. Everybody looks at his home runs and his RBIs and his batting average. But unless you watch him play, you don't know how good defensively he is. And he just showed you by making that unbelievable throw out of the left field corner to nail Ellison trying to go to 2nd. Against an ordinary left fielder, Ellison would have been in there easily with a double. 2 balls, no strikes. Ground ball to shortstop. Hernandez over to Carew for the force, and we're going to the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of the 8th inning, the Red Sox 5 and the Twins 3.
Oh, he's not going anywhere. It's his day for Dodge fever.
The odds are with this one. 1968 Dodge Coronet 500. One look is all you need, and you've got the fever that's fun to catch. Even more secure. Coronet 500. Infectiously beautiful. Luxury to make your head spin. Deep cushion buttons. All vinyl interiors with padded dash. And power options up to 383 cubes of restless V8. Dodge Coronet 500.
Anyone for Dodge fever?
The 9th inning now. Ted Ulander will lead off for the Twins. Ulander's fly to left, fly to center, fly to right. Jim Lomborg had pitched a 2-hitter up till the 8th inning when the Twins came up with 4 singles, but got only 1 run. 5 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Red Sox. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Twins. If the Red Sox hold on to this lead, they will be the American League champs if the Tigers lose their second game. If the Tigers win the second game and the Red Sox win this one, there'd be a tie, and a playoff would start in Boston tomorrow. If the Twins rally and win it, and the Tigers win the second game, there would be a tie, and the playoff would start in Bloomington, Minnesota tomorrow. Well, down to the last inning of the year for these two clubs, unless there's a playoff. The strike. Rod Carew, another left-hander on deck. And then a left-handed hitting catcher, Nixon. Ball 1, strike 1. John Wyatt, a right-hander, Ken Brett, a left-hander, warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Ground ball to Petrocelli, takes a bad hop, hits him in the neck or the face, and Ulander's on. And the Twins now will bring the tying run to the plate. Let's see about Petrocelli. That reminds you of the bad hop in the 7th game of the World Series in Pittsburgh when Tony Koufax was struck in the neck. Playing shortstop for the Yankees. Petrocelli's all right. On a possible double play ball then. Dick Williams. Now talking to him. Buddy LaRue, the trainer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was a 7th chance for Petrocelli in the game. Tiger came up and hit him in the mouth or the cheek. Well, that's a base hit for Ulander. Petrocelli stays in, gets a hand from the fans. Rod Carew, the rookie, has grounded out 3 times to the infield. Grounding ball to second. Andrews tags him, throws, double play. Identical double play in the 8th inning. That was started by Jerry Adair, who was spiked and had to leave the game. Rookie Mike Andrews goes in and pulls off the same play. 1 more out, and the Red Sox have clinched at least a tie for the pennant. Rich Rollins is going to bat now. Rich Rollins. The last hope for the Twins. Darrell Hardy's on deck to bat just in case. Fans are yelling, we want an out. There's a little bloop. Petrocelli's there. The Red Sox are winning. The Red Sox have clinched the tie for the pennant and could be the winner if the Tigers lose the second game. Look at this scene in Boston. They've waited since 1946. That's a mighty valuable piece of property there the fans have taken over. I hope they don't hurt him. Jim Lombard pitched a big ball game here today. His 22nd win of the year to bring the Red Sox at least a tie. And now they'll go to their clubhouse, Pee Wee and Sandy, and stand by to see what happens to the Tigers. One thing for sure, the Red Sox will not leave town tomorrow. They'll either play a playoff game tomorrow or they'll stand here till Wednesday and wait for the Cardinals to come in for the World Series. The final score, the Red Sox, 5 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors. The Minnesota Twins, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error.